This is Scott Egan for Audit AZ News. Here with attorney Bill Risner, who's been representing Cecilia Cruz in the El Rio coalition. Bill, we just came from the court hearing, and can you tell me what you feel the result of this particular hearing has been so far?
Well, I have no idea what the result of the hearing is. The result of the hearing will be the judge's decision on three of the issues before him. One is whether he should reopen the case and permit us to obtain more proof from the city that would show what documents they've had, what documents were concealed by the city attorney's office. A second thing is what sanctions should be against the city, and primarily that is whether they should pay the full attorney's fees and cost. And the third thing is because the city has really drugged this case out because of their behavior of lying and not turning over documents, whether the citizen, Cecilia Cruz, who's had to take untold hours and interfere with their life, and the statute says she gets damages if the city is wrongful, and they are wrongful. And the question is, and there's no real case that I can point to that's happened before, but in this case the real question is she should get her damages, and we want to proceed at this time with a damage claim.
During the court proceeding, the judge was getting more and more angry at the city of Tucson and their lack of transparency and their attempts to kind of hide the records. Is that what you felt from the beginning with the judge, or do you think he's kind of seeing the light with the city?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by the beginning. From the beginning of the case, he thought the city had been, candid, and probably we were there politically with some motive. And that's pretty typical. The judges are part of the government structure, and they know when they deal with their people that they're honest, and so they think, gee, the city must be honest, and the city tells us they've turned everything over, so I guess it's true. But now, absolutely, he knows that they've lied to us, and it's human nature, of course. He's very offended that they've lied really to the court. I mean, of course, they've lied to him, but he's part of the court. He understands that among practicing lawyers, we have a certain basic set of professional rules. And one is you don't blatantly lie about facts to the judge. These kind of facts. You try to, I suppose, twist things, use terms of art to slide off stuff, this and that. There's a certain range where we're, in court, and this case is one that I don't think I've ever seen in my practice, frankly. Nothing like it. You have an assistant city attorney where there's a huge volume of documents, key stuff, immediately get involved, immediately accumulate it, immediately have them give him those documents. And then he goes to court and tells the judge that they've turned everything over and all the documents are there when the key stuff has been hidden. For instance, when they told the judge that, there had been 140, I think, sheets of paper. Nothing more, or something like that given to us. Since then, there have been 3,500 sheets of paper, and so the key stuff's been thrown in the trash can. The key stuff that he knew about and had in his possession. It's absolutely astonishing. And he's a city lawyer. There's no question that if I did that, I would have to look for a job. I couldn't be a lawyer anymore. It's that blatant.
This case has been going on for 2 years now, right? Since Cecilia Cruz made the request in May of 2013, right? In that whole time, the city lawyer has been McLaughlin. For 2 years, he's been defending the city, and for 2 years, he's been kind of fighting for the city's cause. All of a sudden, there's a new lawyer. He's sitting there in the case, but it almost seemed like he was in trial there. The judge seemed to be very angry about how many times the city has lied to him, or apparently lied to him. Do you think that that's a good thing, that McLaughlin is no longer the lead counsel on this, or what do you think that indicates?
Well, I anticipated when a different lawyer came in that was likely. When a judge finds that a lawyer has not been candid to him, then that sort of makes it hard to snooker him the second time. You know, you kind of need a new lawyer. Plus, I think it's just the old principle. When you've dug yourself in a hole, you try to stop digging. And the real problem was if, for instance, at this hearing today, the judge would ask questions of the attorney, who had lied to him, then all he could do was, basically lie again. So if there's another lawyer that says, yes, he may have been thinking of something else when he made that statement. Oh, there could be more facts. I mean, you don't want the same liar in front of you lying again. So they needed to bring in another lawyer, and they brought in a skilled lawyer. Michael Corey's a very good lawyer.
One of the highlights, I thought, of this session here was at the very end, where the judge basically asked you, well, if the city has been violating the law by not providing public records requests, do you think that the city is covering up a bigger crime than just not providing public records as required by state law? You had quite an answer there, and could you maybe explain to our viewers here, summarize what you said to him about the cover-up and why the city would be covering up these for so many years, all these records?
Well, I thought that was a little interesting because ordinarily I couldn't stand up and really explain what I think the motive is here. It's really the facts of what have they done.
Right.
And I was taken aback, I suppose, a bit that, okay, you've asked the question, I can answer it.
You've opened the door.
you want the answer.
Right.
And the answer is this proposed sale of the deal was a major, huge crime in Providence. It was huge, and it involved a lot of people in the city. It involved a person who claims he's likely to be the next city manager, was in charge of that heist. And so I think, the public needs to know that information, but of course we don't have a media in Tucson
except us.
Yeah, so that's something you're never going to read in the Star or the Weekly. And what's today's date? The 5th, is it? 6th. Okay.
March 6th.
March 6th. Okay, I'm saying you're never going to read that. We'll see.
We will see. All right. This is Scott Egan for Audit AZ News.